on today? All right, I've got a story for you. Now this is unscripted, it's coming off my memory. I'll give you some sights in this video, but I also think you're gonna find this true story sort of interesting. Let me go back in time. About 18 years ago, when I was in Taiwan, I joined a band. I met a few guys just outside of the city. We had similar musical interests, sort of classic rock sort of thing. And so we started jamming and, got some stuff together. And stuff like this, like Western type music, kind of goes over well because it has that sort of, it's different than what's kind of going on here. And back in those times, they still had live venues. So after a few months and a few band member changes, we eventually found this gig where we would get on in a car in Taipei. So we're in Taipei City, Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall. If you're wondering where the heck I am. A friend would pick us up, the four of us. One guy was American, one guy was Polish, the other guy was English, and I'm Canadian. So we kind of had the whole thing going on there. And we're all fairly, I thought, pretty good musicians at the time. So anyway, we do all our classic rock songs, but we do a lot of jamming, we'd really stretch them out, that sort of thing. So it was good, not necessarily because you're cover tuning, but if you're choosing classic rock type stuff, you can really improvise, and that's kind of what I'm into as a guitar player. I'll show you a few clips from time to time in this video. Hopefully it's not too windy here. This story gets pretty good, so follow me. This might be a bit longer one. So anyways, we start playing at this thing along, there's about an hour's drive north along the beach. There's a little sort of a restaurant that overlooked the ocean. And so we'd play over the dinner hour, and then kind of into the evening, people start, dancing and drinking lots. It was a pretty good gig. We'd do it every weekend. We almost had it every weekend for about a year. And why it was so good is we get up there and we had an open bar tab and they'd feed us. Like, it was just crazy because they'd feed us and they'd give us cash. Not much, but think of it like free entertainment. I was making maybe 800 Canadian. Yeah, about that, about 200 bucks every Saturday night. Just going out there, and it was open bar. Drink all you want. And it was pretty good. It was free entertainment and a lot of fun. I got to play guitar, made a few bucks. There was this owner, a lady. I won't name any names in this because there's some rumors involved, but I'll tell you what I do know. She owned the bar, or the sort of pub outdoor, sort of on the ocean thing. And she had a boyfriend, and he was probably in his 40s, a wild guy. I'm guessing American. And he was pretty wild. He was the kind of guy that was always buying everybody drinks, and he was drunk all the time. I think he was a drunk, okay? But he was a fun guy, good heart, but a bit of a womanizer too. So anyways, he was dating the owner of the bar and just basically drinking all the time, right? And he liked us. He liked us coming up because he liked our music. He liked the whole party atmosphere of it. So again, this goes on for about a year. But as I said, this guy was a bit of a womanizer. So at one point in the future, we got a call, you can't come up and play this weekend because this guy who was dating the bar owner, like an older guy, kind of helping her run the show, he's in the hospital. No, that's not funny, but he's in the hospital because some dudes just walked into the bar, we weren't there at the time, took him and just beat him up so bad because I think he was caught cheating on the bar owner. Maybe that this is where rumors start. That's the story. Some guys, that's a fact. Put him in the hospital. And apparently he was in the hospital recovering, and apparently he was visited later by some other people here in Taiwan, and then he died. Yeah, he freaking passed away. So a lot of that's rumors. I don't know anything that happened, but a few of his friends were trying to start groups on the net to sort of get to the bottom of this, but it didn't go anywhere. And so that sort of ended our playing up there. It had a different vibe after that. I stopped playing. I wasn't into the music at the time because a few members in the band were more interested in doing, hey, let's do what everybody here wants to hear, more Chinese music and stuff like that. It's a hobby for me. I didn't want to play Chinese music that much. No offense to you Chinese music lovers, it's just not my thing, you know. I'd rather go play some Hendrix and Clapton, that sort of thing. Hence the name, you know, Led Zeppelin. You know where that comes from if you know anything about classic rock. So anyways, that was my whole music sort of thing here in Taiwan. But I haven't heard anything of it. The few other guys that were in the band, they still do their thing around town here where they'll do like weddings and like little events, and yeah, they enjoy it. That's the main thing, but I definitely don't like that. That was fun while it lasted. That happens in a lot of different places here in Taiwan. At least stories I've heard, where people get mixed up, and there's a definitely how would you call it, or what would you call it? There's an element of the society, and I'm sure there are with most, but here, kind of like a gangster type thing. I know rumors have it that they're running a lot of the show, but I just think it's the word gangsters, what they use here, but just sort of organized crime groups. You get that everywhere, but you know, they'll tend to be in those industries. And they tend to not really follow the rules, as you can see. My thoughts? Yeah, I think my personal opinion, without knowing anything besides what I just told you, she probably had something to do with it that got carried away. That's what I think. She didn't do it herself, but they took it too far. So you gotta be careful. I've had a few other situations too where people are approached or they're warned, you know, when it comes to money, and even a lot of the schools out here, like there's a lot of schools, English schools. I would say it's not the norm. You don't see it as much, but yeah, some shady run, like sort of tax operations. And that reminds me of where I am. This is a CKS, Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall. Let's go for a walk up here. And what's the history here? Check that out. Sort of one of the first, what you call iron fist type rulers here. All right, apparently the changing of the guard is going to happen. It happens every hour. That sign said. It's a popular time. Let's check this out. No, it's supposed to be loud in there. You got the idea. Anyways, I got a few clips actually. Now the clips from when I played up there, we played up there, I kind of liked it. Another cover type tune, so I can't play them for too long on YouTube without getting a copyright strike. But I'll leave you with one of the highlights. I think it was a New Year's we were playing. Give you an idea of the vibe of the place. Playing some Van Halen type tune or whatever. Yeah, I'll leave you with that. But before I go, is there anything else I have to say? Oh, be careful who you mix yourself up with and what you ask for. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's a true story. Now the rumors, of course, I don't know all the details, so everybody's left nameless, and I'm not jumping to conclusions, but what happened did happen, so.